Oh, hey, good morning. This is Charles, Chuck, Charlie, Chaz, in a very frigid post Vern type of week. And man, it was one of those type of weeks, let me tell you. And and it's mainly all because of common sense. Are you bundled up? Are you ready to go? Because it kind of reminds me of the movie The Day After Tomorrow with the vortexes and the massive snow amount. I'd say in the village we had 24 inches, 2 feet of snow, and right now on my screen that I see, it's now 5 below. So here I am, completely bundled up, ready to go. I'm completely warm, grateful, and blessed, and safe, which is a good thing. We're still doing a little bit more work in the apartment here, but everything's going pretty well. So, and for those who are keeping track and who's keeping the scorecard, this is the 46th entry of my journey of what happened last year and in the impact. And I said last year, unbelievable. And I'll tell you the full insight on that in a little bit. But let me tell you what happened as officially last week with an amazing, again, amazing crew from the New York Cancer and Blood Center. I had, I think I had a day off, or I had, no, I had blood work plus a shot on Tuesday, which there was no problem. And then obviously, it was really a short, I'll tell you something, it was a short Wednesday on my 20th. Yeah, 20th chemo. Would you believe that? And it had some certain side effects, and I will tell you that in a moment. But instead of going for the full 5 hours, I went 3 hours. Okay, plus the mini chemo on Friday with the flush and the infusion, and the medication's kind of helping out pretty well. Now I'm under one, as per Dr. Modi and a great staff that they have down in your Cancer Blood Center. They cut my chemo medication down. And I said, okay, I'm not being concerned, because one of the chemo medications said, because from the CT scan that was happening the prior week, they said we had to cut something back. I said, okay, what's going on? Did you realize I have a touch of cirrhosis? Just saying, it's a side effect. And I'm like puzzling myself. I'm like, isn't that a drinking disease? Isn't that like hepatitis C and all this other? Even the doctors saying, did you have hepatitis C before? I said, no. First of all, I had all my shots. I had Hep A, Hep B, and Hep C shots all taken care of. That's great, Never touched a drink. It was because the impact of the new chemo situation. So they're talking, and I said, gee, we need to get you up to your gastrointestinal up in Catskill Harris this past week. So I said, okay. So here we go with another round of shots on this 46th entry, and on this bye week, 2 doctor visits. One was down near Cancer Blood Center again, with the blood work and trying to find a good vein, and it was good, and like at least I had some blood flow and blood with it, and the hemoglobin shots helping out pretty well. And then yesterday was a doctor visit out to the Catskill Regional Medical Center in Harris, the outpatient building, with the amazing staff of Brittany and her nurses and Dr. Altavedi. And I'll tell you something, I gave him the biggest hug ever, because without that team, what happened made such an impact on my life. And I was grateful to tell Dr. Altavedi also, he is the one also who did my colonoscopy, in which my colon, thank goodness, is healthy. My colon is healthy. There's no effects on it, but now we're working on the liver and obviously the pancreas. So we were discussing and everything else and the impact of it. And they're searching out new medications and whatnot, and maybe something alternative to, get the liver where it's supposed to be checked out, and where the mapping of it, and see how the liver is going to respond. So we're hoping that is going to happen. Now, I'm still waiting word. I'm still doing, what we normally would do every week or every other week with the video impact. But yes, 2 successful weeks. And again, a shout out to Dr. Altavedi and Brittany over at Catskill Regional Medical Center. It's originally that happened because I'm going to say something a little later on this video that made such impactful insight with it. So again, it was a very, very much of a progressing week, hopefully to get healthy. I'm eating, drinking water, and thank you to, again, as everyone paying it forward, because I love this community. I really love this community. And this is where it's all going to happen. So in this one video, I'm going to wrap this up and with the impact. I don't want to drag myself with this because it shouldn't be too long, but this is like a very important update. Once again, thank you to the New York Cancer Blood Center and their angels, and to Catskill Regional Medical Center, the outpatient visit for the gastrointestinal with Dr. Altavedi and the staff, and it's such a made full impact. And maybe I should put this in there because that made full impact started about the same time last year. I was a very, very hustled, charismatic, cared about work and always worked. I always did the essential that, it's like it's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, everything started to go kind of going down. Like, remember what I was saying about last time around? Those weeks that I gave to enjoy, enjoying life, seeing a Sweet 16 party for my friends, eating life, eating and enjoying and everything else. And then obviously everything took the turn for the worst. And then obviously the gastro changed immensely. I went to urgent care up in Catskill Regional Medical Center about almost the same time last year. And then we redid it again and re-upped it. And then that's when Dr. Altavedi came in and said, no, we need to get you down to Orange Regional to get you processed down. That's going to be coming up in 2 weeks. But really, the symptoms of what I had started about the same time right now with the gassiness, the constipation, noticing my urine was getting darker, and I started seeing the influx of my color of my skin. So, and that's when they discovered I had jaundice. Something was not working out, and then voila, it was that timing. So on that note, everything's going pretty well. We just completed 20 rounds. We're going on the 21st next week. And again, the impact from this, it's very, very gratifying, thankful, and whatnot. And I'm going to, continue on another part 2 of this video. It's, you could say 46.1, or you could say the 47th entry, which is, you're getting a double from me because there's a lot more that happened within this past week. So on that note, there's going to be 4 lines, and obviously check out my Spotify list, life enjoying everything else. And, we're making it happen. So obviously there's 4 lines that I kind of recite. It's besides don't give up, don't ever give up. In what we do in life echoes in eternity. Definitely raising the bar. Raise the bar in your life. Raise the bar in what it's needed for you. What do you want me to do? What we can do? Can we make this a little bit better? Make it positive and make it happen. Just make it happen. And most importantly, it's a win. because you get up every day, get that sip of coffee, dress warmly in bundles, and definitely it's a win. Definitely it's a win. So on that note, on this part of it, this is the, obviously the update from the last couple weeks. This is Charles, Chuck, Charlie, Chaz from CGM3 Productions. Part 2 is coming up in a little bit, and we're making it happen. So peace, love, and a lot more coming up from what happened within the year. So, and what happened before I started chemo down in Orange Regional and New York Cancer and Blood Center. So keep tuned, stay tuned. This is Charles, Chuck, Charlie, Chaz from CGM3 Productions. Have a great one. Peace and love.